Hello everyone, my name is Nico, and today we will be doing a guide of a character I love playing in Roblox Phighting. Mostly because I feel some people have problems playing this specific character, and I think a guide will help them out. Or maybe they suck at the game, I don't know. Today, we will be covering the funny music man himself, Boombox. Just to make it clear, I probably won't do this for like every character because I am horrible at guides and this is my first time doing one, so my apologies if this is kind of lacking some information. I also just thought this would be fun to try out considering how much work I've been doing outside of videos, even though this project has been taking a lot of time to do, mostly for collecting the footage I need to explain what I'm saying. And with that out of the way, enjoy the video. Boombox is a support that mostly functions as a mix of a defensive and offensive core to his team. Having 100 HP and 50 shield might not seem like that much, but his skills absolutely make use of defensive strengths on him, especially his shield. Obviously his reliability is heavily dependent on his whole charge mechanic, but we'll get into that right now with the passives and abilities. Boombox's passive, Charging Blitz, is the most defining feature of his entire kit. If you look in the middle of the screen, you see these bars coming into the silhouettes in the center while a metronome ticks in the background. If you hit your M1 when the bars are in the silhouettes, you and any allies hit in the attack will be granted a small speed boost with every hit, and if you hit at least one opponent with the attack, you will be given a charge. If you get the late or early timing window, you won't get the speed boost, but you still get the charge benefit, and anything that has no timing indicating word, you get absolutely nothing except damage. This is one of the biggest factors as to why Boombox isn't played often, due to this mechanic requiring constant focus on the middle of the screen. You will slowly learn a muscle memory to this mechanic with enough experience, but at first, it could be a daunting task because of how much people worry about this simple mechanic. Boombox's whole charge mechanic is pretty interesting. In the corner near his skills, you'll see some sort of ammo window indicating the amount of charges Boombox has out of 4. Charge is a defining feature of his kit, due to how it affects his M1 and M2 in many benefiting ways, which we will get into right now. Pulse Wave is Boombox's M1 or primary attack. It spawns a cone-shaped hitbox in front of Boombox and does only 8 damage. However, with every charge you have, another wave spawns if you get a perfect hit with the metronome. So for example, if you have 2 charges and get a perfect hit, you get 2 waves. If you have 3 charges and get a perfect hit, you get 3 waves, and so on with every subsequent charge, which can make his primary attack actually somewhat threatening to fight against due to how much damage it can output. Shielding Amplifier is Boombox's secondary and gives shield to Boombox and teammates around him. The attack comes out in a circle hitbox, making it have a good AoE hitbox while doing damage to enemies and knocking them back a bit. Upon using this move, it also uses up all of your charge you have accumulated and adds an amount of shield compared to the amount of charges you have to you and nearby allies. For example, having 1 charge gives 15 shield, but 4 charges can actually give up to 50 shield to people. You also get a speed boost depending on how much charge was used, which allows you to retreat easier or rush down players better, especially when you use it with max charge, making this tool incredible for defensive and offensive play. Boombox's Q is Base Boost, which launches Boombox into the air in which he can slowly hover before coming back down. It could also suck in nearby opponents closer and do damage to them. Pressing Q again in this form does Beat Drop, which does a slam attack that does damage and pushes opponents slightly away. It's good for general damage or finishing opponents off, as the air you get from Base Boost makes you hard to hit and lots of vertical mobility, and the damage it does is actually pretty solid. You could also do a tech called Q Surfing, in which you do the beat drop part of your Q on a slope. It sometimes doesn't work, but it can send you flying into the direction the slope is going down towards, which has some practical use on some maps like Bandlands. Boombox's E is Protecting Overtone. It spawns a force field with 300 HP that stands in front of Boombox that can take general projectiles if it hits them. A few projectiles could go through the shield like Sword's M2, but it blocks almost everything else that is a projectile. Pressing E again when the shield is up launches it forward, destroying the shield. But anyone hit by the shield takes damage and gets knocked back, which makes this an excellent option on maps with pits due to the insane knockback it causes. It can also be used to get melee classes off of you thanks to the knockback, while also allowing you to rush range classes better because the shield can soak up all of their shots. Boombox's finisher is raining tacos. Boombox goes flying up and then comes back down, slamming the ground and launching enemies upward, slows down those enemies, and gives nearby teammates 500 shield that unfortunately decays really fast. This is especially great on Conquer due to its huge hitbox and shield it gives to everyone, making it a great finisher if your team is in danger on point or they're all packed in a group on Annihilate, making this an incredible defensive option if it's available. Boombox matches up pretty well with most of the fighters. He can do great against ranged and melee users alike due to his oppressive shield and ability to tank hits when having charges. His shield can stop Sling and Rocket from mostly doing damage to him, and his Q can help do decent damage against up-close fighters like Biograph or propel them away with his shield like Sword. Boombox can have a bit of an issue with Subspace, as Subspace can annoy Boombox with his M2 and well-placed mines, but the worst matchup by far is with Katana. Katana can mow down Boombox due to looming misfortune, and Boombox has no reliable way to recover well from it, always resulting in a loss. So it's good to be around teammates if you see some of these foes and run away, as it can be a bit of a hassle otherwise for Boombox alone. Now that we went through all of that, let's take a look at some gameplay to see what Boombox can really do in a match. Just for your information, I am nowhere near the best Boombox, but I think I am slightly okay enough that I can show some probable gameplay footage of how Boombox could play. So here you go. I guess before this video ends, I would like to thank a few people. First, I would like to thank all my friends Koi and Hockey for helping me get some clips I need and just kind of playing in a private server so I could just fool around and then just like show some stuff that Boombox needs to show. And I would also just like to give a huge thanks to Quartz for being a very big inspiration of this video. Without their video on how to play Sword, I'm pretty sure I would not be making this in like the sort of same like style in a way. They're kind of just like a really big inspiration for why I made this video, and I just kind of, you know, I just thought it would be nice to make a video on Boombox because they're covering every class and they're gonna take a while when it gets to like some other class like Boombox. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you like it, like the video I guess, and yeah, I'm sorry for the really bad video. I kind of fucked up during editing a lot, and this is just me post editing, and it kind of sucks that I really fucked it up, I'm gonna be really honest. So sorry about that, but I tried my best. So I hope you enjoyed, and peace.